So look, it's 12 grand, you know, to buy your bits and take the engine out. I'm surprised it didn't set on fire, to be fair.
Broken cars. Broken cars are good. They're good for YouTube, that's for sure. They're not really good for me though, and I keep trying my hardest not to buy broken cars. But sometimes when you look at a car, it's you know, even it's nice like this, an edition 125. It's got nice spec. It's a lovely car, all in all. It's a nice thing. But then the engine management light came on when I bought it, and I was like, oh man, like engine management lights just come on.
You're joking?
Yeah. Just literally just come on. It could be something small, but it could be something big, expensive, and a massive headache. At this point in time, I don't know how big, expensive, or how much of a headache it is, but I'm currently at VRS in Northampton. This is the car that I recently bought that we are giving away on Planet of Dreams, so if you want to support in any way you can, get over to the website, buy yourself a ticket. I think they're like 19 pence a ticket. And in the meantime, we are going to get it fixed and we're going to get it done before we give it away, which I think will probably be this Sunday, all right? So let's pop in and see Will, let him have a little look at it, and in this video, we're going to conclude the problem with my latest purchase, the C63 AMG. Will, this is my new C63. It is, it's got an engine management light on it, mate.
Standard.
Shock. Do you know what? I was buying this car and it came in part exchange against my M5, and the light came on when I test drove it.
I didn't mention it because it hasn't happened for a long time.
And it's just
it would happen now, wouldn't it? So
yeah, that's all right.
It's payback, mate.
But yeah, maybe it is payback from one headache V8 to another headache V8. It's a nice car.
It's all right, isn't it? It's a coupe, 450 brake, you know, it's nice enough. Pan roof, balance things.
Yeah, it's got a pan roof. It's a lovely spec car. You know, I've always been a big fan of them.
I wouldn't mind winning it for free.
Yeah, you could
burn the tyres off it, wouldn't you?
Exactly. You never know. These engines do have their issues, don't they?
They can have lambda sensor faults. They have leaky rock covers. There's another thing that happens on these. Worst, obviously, well, other thing, running them low on fuel, obviously that comes with the nature of a car lot because you're moving cars around all the time and they run low on fuel because nobody ever sells you a car full of fuel. But one of these you did sell a while ago had a fault, it came in and it was just that it had been run low on fuel. Yeah. So we did think that with this, didn't we? Because it had 0 miles on it, but it appears the light's on. So we're going to have a quick look at it, make sure it's not that again.
Yeah.
Someone's put some plugs in already, haven't they? So we'll just check all that. But the worst thing with these can be the camshafts wear, they wear through the lifters, but there's normally a distinctive noise with that.
Okay. It sounds quite healthy, I would say.
Which this doesn't appear to have,
That's
luckily.
Good. Okay.
So
you're feeling hopeful at this stage?
Well, I haven't listened to it, everyone else has, so.
Okay. Do you want to, let's not let you listen to it. Let's not let you listen.
No,
let's not. Let's save that for the next chapter of the video. So the plan is, I'm going to leave it with you.
I know what's wrong with it.
Do you actually
It's got no gas in it.
Do you know what I was going to say? We did put some gas in it on the way here, some 99 Ron Shell petrol.
Badge is missing.
Badge is missing. If we can get one of them, that would be good.
Yeah.
If
to be fair, mate, you know, it's probably something stupid. I'll go through, we'll do some live data, see what misfires it's got, if any, and then just have a listen to the engine across the top. If we hear a bit of a noise, I'll get an oil sample, have a look at that, see if there's any shrapnel in it.
Okay.
Just basic stuff.
And
then, but we'll take all the plugs out. Normally tell which one's misfiring from the plugs, but obviously from the diagnostic equipment as well. And we'll just look at the plug, see if it looks like it's running lean, or it could be an injector, it could be lots of things.
Yeah.
Or it might just be that, you know, it's just not getting enough fuel, or or a duff coil pack. So
I wonder. I hope whatever it is, it's not too big and expensive, because I've had a lot
of. Could be a valve seat.
I don't want that, because I was about to say I've had a lot of big, expensive headache cars lately, and genuinely, I'm trying not to buy cars with problems. I mean, they're great for social media, but they're not. They're just.
If everything you buy is perfect, you'll never make any money because you won't be buying enough. You've got to buy as many as possible to sell as many as possible to try and make money. You know.
Yeah, that is the theory. Keep buying, buy everything. You win on most of them, you lose on a few, and
someone's always going to sell you a duff car. It's going to happen.
In fact, my biggest loss ever is one that we just filmed, which that video might have gone live
A6.
already. Audi A6. We won't talk too much about it right now, but it is an absolute it's been a headache of a car. But
for everyone, yeah.
We've filmed a video on that as well, and that is a perfect analogy of what can happen in the car trade. So parts are expensive as well, that's what I can say.
Everything's so expensive.
Everything's expensive, isn't it?
That gearbox there. So that's a DL501 gearbox, which is basically a Q5 S-tronic gearbox.
Yeah.
And it's had a service somewhere, the box at some point, and basically it's got a slipping clutch 1, slipping clutch 2 fault. There's 2 clutches, one in the middle, one on the outside, wet clutch with oil.
Yeah.
Drain the oil out and it's black and there's hardly any oil in it, but it's supposed to have been serviced. Flywheel's noisy as well, it's rattling. Flywheel, 1,290 quid plus VAT.
What for
a flywheel?
Really?
800 quid for a clutch.
Just for the flywheels,
Yeah,
12.90.
so it's like 2,100 quid plus VAT for the bits.
Just for the bits.
Yeah, I can't get a clutch non-gen at the minute. That part number, it's only available genuine. I can get a non-genuine flywheel for about 890 quid or something like that. That's a non-genuine flywheel.
So that's just a customer's car. Audi Q5, did you say?
Just a
Diesel.
A lady's got one of these cars. CV boot split on it. The rear level sensor's broke. The lower arm rear bushes are worn on it. Flywheel, and its service lights on. It probably wants about 8 grand spending on it.
Really?
Yeah, it wants tyres. All the brakes are worn.
Well, she just bought the car then?
No, she's had it, but because people
Over
they
time.
just drive it and then they don't do anything with the car, and then suddenly it comes in. Right, okay, we need to fix that. Well, is it worth fixing? But it's like she says, what's she going to? She took that 8. Well, it's not going to be 8 grand.
No, I know, but whatever.
If she did everything, it would be. Because tyres, you know, it's £1,000 for a set of tyres now.
But this problem alone needed doing, yeah? Because this is preventing the car from being driven smoothly,
it knocks its head off on the flywheel and the clutch slips.
Is that a common problem on them? I know we're not kind of talking about C63, but it's interesting.
The flywheel is, my pal's got a 3 litre one, his flywheel's noisy, but it's been noisy for ages. I've just said, look, you either do it or you don't.
The box is out, you may as well do it, yeah.
Problem with this is because it's been serviced and there's not had enough oil put back in it, and God knows what, I don't know what's happened.
Yeah.
That's what's wrecked the clutch. But it's just people not doing the procedure properly or whatever, you know.
So to summarise, yeah, parts have gone up a lot. Things are expensive. I'm trying to avoid cars that need lots of work, although it does entertain you lot at home, which is brilliant.
But you wouldn't know if she traded that in with you tomorrow.
That's a good point.
You would have thought it's got a noisy flywheel. Get a flywheel for 250 quid.
Yeah.
And sort it.
But no. 2.5 grand later or whatever.
And then I've got to ring you and you're like, how's it that much? I'm like, well, you know.
How is that for you? You must be making these calls a lot at the minute where you like
it's embarrassing because people think I'm lying when I ring up and I'm like,
you've got to break it down.
Like an SQ5, you rang me about one.
Because I wanted to buy one. I think they're a cool car.
And I said, don't buy it, please. Because we've just had one in. The injectors are 1,000 quid each for a genuine. They're 800 and whatever. It's just shy. They're 998, but 6 of them. That's 6 grand. £6,000.
Just to do injectors?
Just to do 6 injectors.
Just supply only?
The non-gen ones are out of stock. Couldn't get any. I found one. And then I managed to get 4 more, because it had one in it at a previous place. 4 more from Germany. And that was it. And I couldn't get anything until they said December to January. This is 3 months ago.
That is ridiculous.
Bloke spent all that money on his car and got it back. And you know the turbo had to come out. Turbo is 5.5 grand plus VAT.
So that's ridiculous.
So injector problem, you know, then turbo, you know, it's the same as the A6 but on steroids because
it's a bigger engine.
Yeah.
It's the S.
There's 2 more of everything.
So you're finding not only things they're expensive, but you're also having to wait longer for parts. Like, I don't know, I'm just using the Bentley because it's behind you on the ramp there. We don't need to go into detail with it, but I'm guessing you've been, been here for a while.
That wasn't too bad, to be fair. Bentley and Leicester, actually, because they're the local one for us, they got us the parts probably within 2-3 days. That was actually quite good. It's getting the authorisation's the problem, because I'm ringing the guy with the Bentley and say, look, it's 12 grand. You know, to buy your bits and take the engine out and put all the bits on, because it needs 2 cats, a back box. The exhaust system's nearly 5,000 quid. No, it was nearly 6 grand in the VAT for the exhaust down one side. All because it's had a wiring repair on the Bank 2 airflow meter, where they've repaired the wires and bunched them up. The wires have touched, and what it was doing, it was causing a backfeed down to the map sensor, over-fueling through the map sensor, and it's melted the cats.
Oh no.
Because it's had a wiring repair before. We've literally found that out because we put it all back together and started it up, and it was popping and banging the same down the exhaust.
So you're thinking...
So when we saw the fault, unplugged the map sensor, stopped popping and banging, ran fine, because obviously we've then removed where it's backfeeding through.
Yeah.
And traced it back where I looked on a wiring diagram and it goes to the map, and I seen the wires. We were like, obviously untaped it all, and it's all touching each other.
So a bit of poor wiring from a previous repair.
It cost this bloke a fortune.
And
it had also, like, the oil cooler was leaking for the gearbox. That was over £1,000 for the bits for that. You've then got where the cat had got hot and melted. It melted the heat shield, the coolant pump for the gearbox, the wiring for that, the wiring for the cam sensor was all melted. I'm surprised it didn't set on fire, to be fair.
that is shocking, isn't it? How long has he had the car for? Sorry.
I don't know, to be fair. Not that long, I don't think. But it was at Curtis at Bentley Solutions in Leicester. He just does, obviously, Bentley's good. He's brilliant. And, you know, we get on with him really well because we share the 4-litre T engine with the Bentley.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So we ring each other when there's, you know,
right,
stuff. And he's a good guy. He said, Will, do you want to do it? I haven't got time, because he's got 3 more waiting to go in. So they have problems with the turbo pipes, the boost control pipes.
Yeah.
Split, and then they cause boost problems. Obviously, he'd not really looked at this. He just presumed from the fault codes, which was lack of boost, things like that. It's got lack of boost because the exhaust blocked.
Of course, yeah.
But he would have seen that when he took the engine out straight away. He would have seen what we saw. So, but he hadn't got to that point. So it was just a quick engine out and a pair of, you know, just some parts. But it's buried behind. So this side, the valve.
This is interesting.
Buried,
this is so interesting.
The valve's buried behind the turbo. You can't get to it. It's impossible.
Because the engines they're a W12. They're massive.
Well, yeah, and there's chassis lay, but it's buried right in the back. You can't get to it, so you have to take the engine out for everything, basically.
But I was just going to say, like, from a car dealer's point of view,
you buy a cheap car like that for $6,000, and then you think, oh, I'll make some money on this. No.
Well, but it can go one way or the other. You can buy these cars, and they can be brilliant.
Somebody wants to get out of it, and it's mint. Then yeah, but
that poor wiring, a car dealer wouldn't have spotted that when he bought it.
No, well, we wouldn't have spotted it either.
There you go.
You can't see the wiring that's underneath the airbox.
And I'm kind of saying this because, in fairness to like wherever this guy's bought this car from, I know it's just kind of like we're not delving into this, but
no.
I did think from a car dealer's point of view that is an absolute headache, and there was no negative intentions there other than perhaps from the person that originally.
Well, someone's
sold
attempted to repair it. The actual repair, when you look at it, is nice. You know, they've heat shrunk it and everything, but the problem is underneath the metal, the heat shrink they've used has gone a bit tight, and it's just rubbed through, and it's rubbed through on the next one, and the 2 wires have touched,
and that's
caused that short. Yeah,
it's not even.
So we haven't done anything with the repair, but I put more heat shielding on it, more shielding on it, and then taped it up better. And it's fixed it. So we haven't redone the wiring repair because what's been done's fine. It's just where it's rubbed. It's not had enough insulation around it.
Wow.
So it didn't need any more than that. But a tiny little thing like that, someone's probably think they've done a real nice job of it, and they have. But it's just over time, it's just shrunk, and then
another poor customer. But it is a nightmare. It's a genuine it's a problem. These old cars, they're lovely. Look at that, it's a lovely car. It's a Bentley, it's a W12 C63, which isn't going to give us any headaches. It's not going to be any problems, and it ain't going to have a big bill, hopefully. But you know, we want to keep them alive, these cars, and we're constantly trying to work with them and make them nice. And this car's done just shy of 100,000 miles.
The problem is that
still a nice
this car was probably a 50, 60 grand car when it was new. So that
12 plate.
12 years ago,
is
now an 85 grand car. So you're buying the parts that are made now have gone up in price because everything's gone up.
The new car value's higher.
So when you're buying bits for it, you're not buying bits because if the car's worth 10 grand, I don't know what it's worth. What's it worth retail?
Yeah, 15 grand, 15, 20 grand.
So it's not a 15 grand car though. It's still an 85 grand car now because that's what it is new.
Yeah.
So when you buy a part for it, the Mercedes don't go, well, the car's only worth 15 grand now, so we'll sell it at, 20% of what the value is that we paid for it. Don't work like that. No, it's still a brand new part. It's still, that's how much it is. Plus price increases since then. Yeah. And everything else. So
since lockdown, I think that's when things have gone up, isn't it?
Well, cars went up massively, came back down again.
But car parts went up.
Oh yeah.
And didn't come back down.
Yeah, I think it's just getting old of stuff. Obviously the WAR in Russia has not helped, has it?
Nah, I think there's a lot of
because a lot of electrical stuff, specifically aircon pipes. Believe it or not, for these, the rear aircon pipe for a Caravelle is made in Ukraine, but it's no longer available until the war stops. Then it'll be, yeah, that's what it says.
Genuinely, the war is actually
Yeah, they're not making the pipes because they're obviously
unable to get.
Well, there's no point. They're not massive call for it, but if you wanted one, you couldn't get one.
That's unreal.
Yeah, it's like oil. We went through a stage where I think it was it Haldex oil, Jay? Haldex oil must have been made in Ukraine, and you couldn't get it anymore. So, because base oils either come from either Russia or America or whatever the base oils come from.
And that's where it starts.
Yeah, and yeah, the Haldex oil we couldn't get any. Luckily, we'd bought some, and I went on eBay and bought every single bottle that was on eBay.
Blimey.
That I could get, and we
Fair
got a load, delivered. Because as soon as they told, because we're close next door, they were like, yeah, you can't get it. They've changed at the minute. It's unavailable for the moment. It was only a short period of time, but we only just had enough that I bought because we do loads of Haldex stuff.
Yeah, even still, like this is just the day-to-day battles that you're having. So, I'll leave you with my C63, yeah?
Yeah.
And
I'll give it a quick condemning in a bit, and I'll give you a ring.
Wicked.
It looks all right, mate. It looks fine.
I really like the look of it. I like the look of it. It's a coupe. It's got. I prefer
to buy a ticket. What does it cost?
It's for a single ticket is 19 pence.
So if you get your free one,
yeah,
and if you want to buy more to increase your chance, you just pay £1 to get 5 more tickets.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah, and it all goes back in. And
I can't buy one though, can I? Because it's a conflict of interest, isn't it?
If you won, that would be a bit awkward, mate. So I'd prefer it if you didn't buy any, all right?
No, I won't, no.
You can drive it. You can drive it the next couple of days. Yeah, have some fun with it. You'll be bored of it in a few days.
To be fair, there's another company, I probably won't mention them, but I keep buying tickets because some of the cars, like these and that, some of the cars
there's
on there.
some cool cars out there.
The problem is, you go on and then, there's a Rolex watch there.
I know.
Oh, it's only 20p, you buy 10 of those, and then before you know it, you've done 45 quid.
But the thing is, I say, yeah, you do, but I say it to everyone all the time, because on Planet Dreams, we give away prizes every single day.
Yeah.
So we see winners every day. We only see the winners. So I know that people are winning this stuff all the time.
Yeah.
Even we buy cars from people that have won cars on other competition platforms.
Yeah.
So we see that a lot as well. So people are genuinely winning these cars all the time. Yeah. And that old saying, and that sounds a bit cliche, you've got to be in it to win it. Got to be in it to win it. And you're far more likely to win a car on one of these platforms than you are a lottery win on the lottery. Yeah. So I think we all love cars. We all love to hope and dream. And yeah, they're good. Hence the name Planet of Dreams, see? It's a planet of dreams.
Planet of nightmares.
Yeah, for you it is. Cool, so I'll see you in a few days' time with some good news, yeah?
Cool, so Will, back a week or so later now, and the C63 is looking...
C63,
bit of a headache.
Random misfire.
Yeah.
Not really, just these have, obviously we know about camshaft and lifters, all that sort of stuff. They also have inlet manifold issues, leaks, dipstick leaks. They also have issues with the seals underneath the inlet manifold, the PCV, the servo pipe leaking, lots of things that leak and then they cause... So what you had was a bank 2 fueling issue. So what normally happens is it's like it can't adjust it enough, so it knows there's some sort of air leak, and that's the fault it puts in. And random, also had random misfire issues. Yeah. So which obviously were there, then they weren't there. Yeah, they were in the middle. So I think there's 2 problems. Well, I know there's 2 problems that I've seen and found. So we took the inlet manifold off and we checked the PCV at the back. That looked okay. And there's a spring and a flap inside, that was closing. Yeah. There was oil in the intake, only a slight bit, that's kind of normal on these. We've cleaned all that out, but the gaskets and seals, the bolts were loose basically, on the inlet manifold, that was one thing.
What, letting air in then?
Yeah, so not all of them, but some of them. So I think the inlet's been off and it's been put back on. Okay. Now, these have an aluminium bolt that holds the intake on. They're a one-use item. Yeah. If you basically put them back on, and you tighten it up, it just gets longer, it doesn't tighten the inlet down. The bolt just stretches and stretches till it snaps. Yeah, so you can see that's one of them there. Yeah. See this one here, that's the inlet bolts. So we've taken it off. Basically, I just put a Torx bit on and like 2 or 3 of them were loose, so straight away I know that's
that's the issue.
Why has it been off? Yeah. So I've taken it off. I've checked all the seals. We've replaced, there was an air temp sensor with broken clips. It was loose, we've replaced that. we smoke tested it. It leaked from a couple of places, the servo pipe and stuff. So we've sealed all that up now.
Yeah.
New gaskets. We've taken in, let apart, cleaned all the oil out, checked the flaps work. We've then, because the throttle bodies are actually inside there.
Okay.
So inside there, there's a plate, and there's 2 throttle bodies sat on the plate.
Yeah.
And then that sucks from the back here, and then the airboxes come over the top. So it's quite a cool little thing inside.
wicked.
It's all integral in there.
Yeah.
So that's all done. But obviously, whilst we took it off, I noticed that the wiring for the injectors, the worst one was the one that had one of them that had a misfire. If you look on camera, the wires were literally just touching.
Bloody hell.
So if you feel that, they basically, the wires are so brittle, they just
See that? Yeah.
yeah, and then they just snap. So you
Oh,
can see
no
there
way,
where it
yeah.
just all the covering comes off. So it's just come breaking off in my hand. So I'm replacing. So Mercedes do a wiring pin which comes with 2 pins on the end and a wire.
Okay.
So what we do, I'll show you what we do. So you buy the new plug. So you can sometimes reuse the plug, but I wanted to make it perfect. So what I've done is we've got the little seals inside there.
Yeah,
so they're the
nice.
waterproof seals. And then a new wiring plug. And then it's basically you loop it like that.
Yeah.
And then you put the pins in the correct way. And then you click that down there.
Yeah.
And then that holds the pins, stop them coming out.
Wicked.
And then what we're doing on this car, depending on the manufacturer, depends on what they want. So we're using a solder joint, which is, people have seen these before, solder in the middle.
Yeah.
We're using a small one so it doesn't bulk up the loom.
Yeah.
So, and then that basically, you put that in there, that shouldn't create a dry joint.
Okay.
Now, you can use a crimp. Some manufacturers specify that. Motorsport, they don't use these, they use a crimp.
Okay.
But the problem is, depending on who specifies it, depending on what they want. For this car, in the room we're having to use these.
Okay.
So, which is not a bad thing. It's a solder joint and it's waterproof, so it shouldn't become a dry joint. So, if it does, it will be in 10 years from now, and the car will be scrapped by then. So.
Hopefully. Hopefully not even. Hopefully
No,
not.
so rather than replacing the whole wiring loom, I'm doing that. So I've done this side, so that's all 4 done on this side.
Oh, wicked.
That one was
It's like
particularly
Blue
difficult.
Peter, isn't it? Is one I done earlier.
Yeah, so I've made this little heat shield here.
Yeah,
to kill
nice.
the ends over. So what I do, when I do a wire,
Yeah.
I'll put it inside there like that.
Yeah.
And then I use the heat gun, and then this basically deflects the heat back underneath it as well.
Yeah. Nice.
So it heats it all the way around,
All
and
the
it
way
also
around.
doesn't burn anything behind it.
Wicked.
Because the tendency is just to do it, and then it can then basically burn all the sleeving on the bits of loom. You put it back together, and then you've got another issue. So
Yeah.
that's why I make these, and then I use the heat gun on the floor there.
Oh,
so
sorted.
that's that. So we'll obviously finish that off.
You've done that side already before we
This
come
side's
this morning.
done. I have this has like loom tape on, which is, I don't know if you can see an example. Same, it's that stuff there.
Yeah.
So the cloth tape. So
Course.
I'll re-cloth tape it
Nice.
so it looks nice.
Do a proper job of it.
Yeah. So I've got a little special tool. So when we open the looms up, we use this.
Yeah.
So that basically, you can put that down the loom, and that little ball there stops you prodding the wires. And you just slide it down the loom, and it cuts the loom open.
I've seen that tool before somewhere, and I've always wondered what
Sewing
that is.
kits, a lot of sewing
Yeah,
kits have them in
okay.
as well, but it's a snap-on one. So that was about $4,000 to buy that from
You
Snap-on.
probably, yeah.
Did it me over like a 5-year.
Yeah. Hey, monthly.
It's lifetime warranty though, so it's great.
Oh, that's fine then. Is that a left-handed one though?
That is left-handed.
Is it?
Yeah, so I do struggle, but I just get by. It's cheaper. The right-handed one's like $10,000 or something.
Yeah.
So that's that. And the injectors I've tested, cleaned, and they're all ready to go back in.
That's good.
So yeah, we're all good now.
It kind of, these engines, they do suffer all these little problems. So we've basically got an air issue and a wiring issue. So it's not massive, but you've gone, in the meantime, you've gone over it all, and you know, you're satisfied.
I haven't taken the rock covers off because I can't hear anything in the top of the engine.
It sounds sweet, doesn't it?
It doesn't sound like, normally you hear a lifter issue. I can't personally hear it. So there's no value in me removing the rock covers.
No.
The stuff's going to look worn because it's not brand new.
Of course.
But normally to see these, you'll hear something, or you'll have a constant misfire.
Yeah.
So what they normally do is they dish the lifters.
Yeah.
And then they'll whack a valve in eventually, and it'll drop a valve. So, but you
no-
can normally hear that straight away. If you go online, you can hear the noises. But yeah, this one doesn't sound like that. So.
Wicked.
Yeah, so that's where we're at currently with it. I'll finish this side in a minute, and then all there is the fuel rail to put back on with the injectors in, and then road test, and then that's it. You can take it away.
Sorted. And something
Get it out of my sight.
Yeah, get in the well.
Oh, the wheels as well. We put the wheels on
as well, didn't we? Because I don't even know. I see a couple of comments, people saying they prefer the 19s, and I must admit, I do prefer the 19s, but then I've come here today, and I just said to you off camera, I do like the smaller, I say it all the time, I like smaller wheels. I think the smaller wheels suit the car, but then these might look more correct on the car. They could do with a clean, so we've got a brand new set of 19-inch wheels, obviously AMG wheels, with a brand new set of tyres. We've had them refurbed as well, so although they're looking a bit not very clean at the minute, it's all new. So once the car's clean, the wheels are clean, I think it's going to look good.
It's always the same, personal preference. I get customers come in and they're like, oh, I want my wheels painted black. So that's fine, you will lose the shape of the wheel. As soon as you paint a wheel black, it could be any shape, you'll never know what it is. So if you buy a wheel that you like the shape of, don't paint it black, because you can't even see it normally on the car.
You're right.
It's got to be silver to see that shape. If you just want a big shiny back wheel on the car, it doesn't matter what shape you get, because they all look the same when the car's there. When you walk up to it in a car park, before you get super close, you'll never really see it, depending on the light. So it does tend to take away the shape of the wheel.
Look away. I did go for the diamond, so these wheels from factory have a diamond cut lip, so we've gone for that as well, and I think it looks really good. Maybe a set of wheel spacers, I don't know if we can get our hands on some, but it's a lovely looking car overall. It's an original looking car, and I felt like getting the original wheels would have been good as well. So yeah,
that's good.
Cool. So you're gonna.
So that's where we're at now. I'm going to finish this off now, and then that'll all be done.
Wicked. We'll get on it now. Yeah.
On it.
So it is a few days on now, and basically in the last chapter of the video, I got busy. Will had a lot to do. I just said, Will, I'm going to leave you to it, and I'll come back in a few days when the AMG's done. So it is now done. We're at the back of his yard at the minute. I was just looking at this. This is his dad's Corrado. I can't actually remember. Should I do a car vertical check on it? I've got to do a car vertical check on it, don't I? I think he's put it up for sale. Well, in fact, I know he has. Pretty sure it might be on a classic car auction or something like that. But let's have a little look. The boys are inside on it. Will's not here at the minute. He's actually just popped out. So you're going to be blessed with my face for this chapter of the video. TTRS there. What a cool car that is. In Nardo grey. Must be a customer's car. I like that a lot. That'd make a great Planet of Dreams car, wouldn't it? But it's funny, like back in them days, going back to the Corrado, there was no such thing as an Audi TT. So what am I on about? That's a Volkswagen. So my analogy is completely wrong. But what I was going to say is that was like the old TT, but it ain't the old TT. What did they do back then? I can't even think. Was there such thing as a little coupe, two-stroke, four-seater sports car? I don't think there was there, in the Audi world? It's funny, we're filming this video the day after the video went live with the Audi A6. And like, what a response. Even when I posted that video, I was like, this, you know, we sold a car with all these problems, and it turned into a headache. But then I wanted to post it because I wanted to show everyone that, I suppose, the risks involved with being a used car dealer. Sometimes I think, should it even be taxable? Like, it's such a big risk. You do lose along the way, but I'm not saying it shouldn't be taxable. But if you go into casino's less calculated. But yeah, that is the reality of the car trade. But at the same time, I've never ever had one as bad as that. So if you didn't see that video, you won't know what I'm talking about. You need to go check that video out, because it is an absolute headache. They're in there doing work. Not a very nice sound. It happens, basically. It does happen. I am going to take this opportunity as well to ask everyone to hit subscribe. I'm on the journey to 300,000 subscribers. I can't believe I'm not at 300,000 subscribers. I've been on it consistently, uploading 2 videos a week, every single week for God knows how many years. But one thing I never do in the middle of a video is ask people to hit subscribe. I don't know what percentage of you are actually subscribed, but I'll try and put a screenshot on the screen now. Not many, not enough. I can hit 300k subs very, very soon. I can do it a lot sooner with your help. So do me a favour, if you've not yet hit subscribe and you're a regular viewer of the channel, do it right now. Get on it, yeah? Help me out, help me out. So, car vertical check on the Corrado, VW Corrado, 1996. Hope Will's all right with me doing this, by the way. Mileage is all good. It's got no finance on it. It's not been previously damaged. It's a lovely car. It is a lovely car. I think did he offer it to me? Is it open? It's actually open, full leather interior. It's a VR6 as well. The reason why I looked at this car, by the way, is because this is where the journey started for me and Leon. So I've said this so many times before. Leon had a green one of these back in the day, so that's probably 15 years ago. and probably a bit longer ago than that, but 16, 17 years ago, either way, in that region. And that was the car we sold for £600, and that began our journey as car dealers. We've done a lot of sale returns then, because sale returns were good. You didn't have to pay for the stock, you could just sell other people's cars. So yeah, I'll just see it there, thought I'd talk about it. But black's definitely a better colour than green. So back to the car vertical check. I want to see the mileage. I've done 126,000 miles, the last known mileage on it anyway. May 2024, it looks mint. Obviously Will's had his hands on it, so it's going to be a nice car. I've got no idea how much he wants for it. I don't actually know if he's definitely selling it, but I'm pretty sure he is. And you can see it's done no miles at all, which is, you know, standard for the type of car it is. It's an old classic now, isn't it? And if we scroll down, anything horrific? Hopefully not, because we'll be well annoyed. Front wheel drive, manual, VR6. I think the VR6 is, the Corrado's had a 2.9 and then the Golf's had a 2.8. I'm not too sure why that was. I'm pretty sure that is the case though. 2 ownership records. So Will's dad must have had it since 2015, and then the previous owner to that was the person who bought it new. So that's pretty good. 27 records on the timeline. Again, really good. Just want to see what the most recent one is. Wow, that is a big timeline. Alright, must have had a private plate on it. H5 CJL, it's gone back to the normal plate, which is an N-Reg, and it was inspected. Most recent inspection was May 2024, so it's going to be due an MOT at some point soon. And the date of reg, let's go back to that, just to satisfy my curiosity. Manufactured in January 1996 and was registered in March 1996. So the car's nearly 30 years old. Look at that. Oh, and by the way, car vertical link is in the description below. Use my code CCD to get 20% off. In fact, just for the benefit of the video, let's show you, see if we can find a crashed VW Corrado. Hopefully we do find one. If we don't, we'll find a Scirocco or something similar. Yeah, that's what you do not want to see when you're doing a car vertical check. Make sure you use my code to get that 20% off, all right? So I want to do a cold start on the AMG. We're going to need to talk about the bill as well, how much it costs to get this car fixed. We've got the wheels on it as well, by the way. So before we do the cold start, we've got the wheels on it. It's looking good. I'm still a bit like, it looks good because it looks as it should with these wheels on it. But I do really like the other wheels personally. So whoever you are, whoever wins this car on Sunday, then you take your pick. Entirely up to you. It's got a brand new set of tyres on it. They are brand new, aren't they? Yes, they are brand new. And we've had wheel spaces fitted as well, so it's looking a little bit more stanced. It does need a clean at the minute, so it's not, the dirt is not doing the car justice whatsoever. We'll get it cleaned before the end of this video, show you some shots of it clean. But for now, let's start it up. This time with no management light, and listen to it on cold start, yeah? I've got the mic on here, which is probably not ideal, but it's not a big problem. I'll jump out and run to the back as soon as we start it, yeah? Shock, it needs fuel. It's not actually as savage. Put the mic down there. It's not as savage as I thought it was going to be, but it sounds good. It's completely stock as well, by the way, this car, which I think's a nice thing. Pan roof as well, which is lovely. Carbon fibre dash inserts, extended paddle shifters. That's it, it's calmed down. Calm down a little bit now. Yeah, it's nice. Has it got heated seats? Of course it's got heated seats, Cal. Very nice. It's a lot colder since we started filming this video. It's a very cold day today. And I think what I want to do now is, before I tell you how much it costs to fix this car, let's hit the road. Go for my first proper drive in this car since we've had it repaired and since we bought it even. And yeah, we'll get it cleaned, get some shots of it, show you what it looks like cleaned up, yeah? Let's hit the road. That's it, sorted. We just had to throw them wheels in the back. 2 in the back of the Merc and 2 in the back of a Mars car. So, take them back to Binker. Need to get some fuel on the way back as well. These are a lovely car, aren't they? You know, here's a question for you. Would you rather have this or an E90 M3? Because me being a BMW guy, oh, someone's parked behind now. Are you moving that one? Sorry, man.
back up to it, I'll shut the gate and I'll walk round and I'll move it.
All right, cheers. Me as a BMW guy, I suppose naturally I'm gonna. Well, that's not even that. I stick up for whatever I prefer, but I actually prefer a C63 over an E90 M3. I love an E90 M3, by the way. I think they're an amazing car. They actually are. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. But when you get out of one of them and drive one of these do drive better. So anyone that's driven one of these, they'll know. Like even when you sit on tick over, is that camera right? It is right now. Looks well close. The way this just, it's lively. It just feels lively. Obviously it's a 6.2 V8 as well, whereas the M3 is a 4 litre V8. It's you know, there's a difference in size of engine there, but the power difference as well. I think I can't remember the power figures off the top of my head, but I'll put them on the screen now. But I've got a feeling the torque figures were massively different. Let me just turn that radio off. Right, let him move this car. I'll put petrol in and I'll come back to you in a sec, yeah? And we'll continue to talk and having the conversation about M3 versus C63. Let's just do it right now. That's it, the mandatory petrol station photo for the gram. Gotta be done. Let's just line that up. Yeah, it definitely is leveling out a little bit, doesn't it, that camera? So does my hair. Job done. We've got fuel. It feels good, doesn't it? It just feels good getting fuel. Sorted. So, continuing on the E90 and W204 C63 debate. Which one would you rather have and why? And as I was just walking up to the car, I was thinking panoramic roof. M3's got a carbon roof, which is amazing. It's absolutely amazing, actually. And in the track world, in the petrol head world, carbon roof, you don't want too much weight up the top. So I get it. So this is a bit more of a, I don't know. Is it a bit more of a? I don't even want to use that word. There's a word in mind, but I'm not going to say it. I prefer it though. I prefer a pan roof, and the noise. Like, let me just do this. Let's just do this. Get out of the way. Is there a, yes, because this is an edition 125 as well, so I think it's got a slightly different front bumper. It's got like the black insert in the bottom of the front bumper. It's a facelift car as well. Pretty sure all the coupes are facelift. I don't think they do any pre-facelift coupes. The noise, yeah, there's a Merc behind me. Listen. They just sound mental, don't they? They just sound absolutely savage. And I think that's another big factor. But then again, the E90 M3 does sound really good. I'm not putting E90 M3s down because one day when I settle down with my car life and I decide to get a collection of cars, I'm without a doubt going to have an M3 of every era. And that does, of course, include the E90 M3. They're an incredible car. One of the pluses with an E90 M3 is they have wider arches at the front and at the rear. You know, BMW made that effort, whereas Mercedes didn't. We spoke about that a lot on the channel. Shift it down. It just sounds so good. The way it just comes to life. For a naturally aspirated engine, it's just so nice. Like, they're fiery, they're alert, they're on the ball, on the button. That's why I was a bit gutted when I drove this car for the first time. The engine management light come on, I was like, oh man, I'm actually looking forward to driving this car. I've driven one of these for a while. It's such a fun thing to drive. Something else worth mentioning as I've done my Instagram story photo shot at the petrol station there. The spacers. If you own a car and you've got no wheel spacers on it, and you've not considered getting wheel spacers, it's just so worth it. It's money well spent. I think every car looks so much better on wheel spacers. I can't speed because I actually almost got done speeding on this road before, because there's always, no, I say that, obviously I don't speed, guys. I don't ever speed. Speeding's bad. You don't want to speed, but just in case we do go beyond the speed limit slightly in the AMG, I don't want to get caught, because there's usually speed camera vans on this road. So yeah, wheel spaces are a bit of a must as well. So yeah, if you win this car on Sunday and you don't want the car for whatever reason, you can take £10,000 cash. I'll buy it off you for 10 grand, yeah? The price to fix this car, before I show you how wonderful it looks when it's clean, was in the region of, drum roll, £1,000. £1,000 to fix it, and you know what? That ain't bad at all. So it's all good now. It's had the VRS love that all of my cars, nearly all my cars have, which we all like to get on the channel. So yeah, I'm happy. It's literally Monday at the point of filming this video. The car's going this weekend. As ever, we are very much cutting it fine, but it's done. It's all good. Got Peugeot on it. Little race, 3, 2, 1, go! Oh. What? Traction control's kicking in. It's giving me no power. The Peugeot nearly killed me. Let's do the Agila instead. Is that an Agila? That is an Agila. It's basically a Corsa with a big roof. Listen to that. Downshift. Sounds unreal. Easy, Cal, easy. Something else the Edition 125s have got, by the way, that the normal C63s don't have, is an LSD. So it's a little bit, just I was gonna say it's a little bit sketchy on days like today, but it's actually not too bad at all. Just puts the power down better, because the normal C63s, they've actually got an open diff. I don't know if it's like a mechanically open, I don't know, I'm not too sure, but they're very open, so when you put your foot down, only one wheel will spin, especially on days like today where it's a bit slippery, whereas you can see today, just about putting all of the power down. Even the downshifts, listen to that. I think this car has got a, I don't know if it's secondary cap delete, or there's like a back box delete or something. It's got some kind of modification on the exhaust, so it does sound a little bit better than normal. It just drives so well. There we go. No engine management light, running like a dream for £1,000. Do you know what? I'm actually pleased with that bill. I was expecting a little bit of a horror story with this car. £1,000 ain't bad at all. It's turned out to be a lovely thing. Let's now cut to them nice shots of it. Let's just do a little downshift. Looking good, I was going to say, but I just had an urge. I had an urge. It's even got shift lights on the dash to tell you when to shift. Not that you need to know when to shift, but it's a nice little feature. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Woohoo! Addictive, addictive. Yeah, let's now cut to them amazing shots of the car looking clean, and then we'll end the video on a high. And here we are. It is clean, it is looking good, and you know what? The wheels have definitely grown. I think it just needed a little scrub, didn't it? Just needed a little wipe down, bit of tyre shine, and it is looking so much better. We've got the pan roof open, we're getting some shots of it now for the new Planet Dreams website photos, and yeah, I'm really pleased with it. Good luck for everyone on Sunday. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit like, hit subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.